And now, World Improv Network proudly presents Community Court.
When two parties cannot solve a dispute, Community Court is there to solve the problem, yes.
All rise for the most, well, I guess you're technically not the most honorable. All rise for, John Vicarro, substitute judge.
How you doing today, Bailiff Cliff? It's good seeing you. I haven't seen you since the barbecue when you came over to my brother's house.
Yeah,
Kenneth's house?
Yeah, absolutely, John. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, how did you enjoy that? Been a while. Hey, we were singing that on the patio. That was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've gone hungry. We did not go hungry that day, did we?
No, I was bloated and fat at the end of that evening.
I couldn't believe you could put down a 12-pack of Schlitz that fast either.
Oh, hey, try me. That wasn't even a record.
Yeah, I know, Junior. I know. One of these days you'll be able to drink some Schlitz too, but not today, and not while your brother is not here, because that would not be responsible. All right. Well, anyway, I'm filling in for my brother, Kenneth. I am actually not a judge. I'm a carpenter, but I know my brother quite well, so and I've listened to all his shows and watched them religiously, so I kind of know how he would see things through in this matter, so I apologize to our plaintiff and defendant if they have any objections to it, but I think we should have a pretty smooth case today.
Hey, be confident, John.
Oh,
you got this.
I appreciate that, Cliff. And when we're done, we'll go get a Schlitz or something afterwards.
Hopefully we can get at least 6.
That a boy. I don't know. Been a while.
Been a while.
That's right. All right. So we got a really doozy here today, as my brother would say. We have our plaintiff. Our plaintiff today is Mark Zuckerstone from OkCupid. And OkCupid has seemed to have a problem there, Mr. Zuckerstone, that you think that the website Tinder or the app service Tinder is not using true love for hooking people up anymore. Is that correct?
Yes, that's exactly correct. That is our primary objection.
And what seems to be the problem with that? Why is love so important for people to hook up?
Well, we feel here at the OkCupid that when you're setting out to bring people together, you want to establish a longer lasting connection, and that's built from love. That it keeps it pure, it keeps it clean, and if you're just basing a connection on physical appearance or just even 2 or 3 degrees of compatibility, well, that's not going to form the basis for anything meaningful. Okay,
so I understand the premise there of OkCupid, that love is absolutely a necessity in order to hook people up online, correct?
Oh, yes, now, 100%.
Now, what I need to know then, for clarification here, is how long does it take for someone to be in love, and how much love must they possess before they can actually date online?
Well, I mean, that varies person to person. Some people are very, love at first sight oriented. Others, it takes more time to build. There needs to be more of a connection. And so we, at OkCupid, we like to leave that up to the user because they know their own love capacity much better than we could judge.
Do you have like a metrics or some kind of meter where it fills up like a love bar, you know, like if you go to the carnival and you hit it with a hammer and you can hit the juice up higher to hit the bell and so on?
So what it is we send all of our users a plant that they then keep, and they will nurture for 1 to 2 weeks,
right?
And then they will return it back to us. And based on how much the plant has grown, we can judge their love capacity. And based off what they feel it is, we find kind of a common ground between those 2 measurements.
So there's a baseline where all the plants that the clients get are the same, and then depending on how they grow, that depends on what clients will then hook up with others.
Yes.
Or who you suggest to hook up with.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. But that seems to be the problem right there, Your Honor. He said sometimes that love... I understand. Hold on, this is Paris Hiltonberg, and you are representing Tinder, correct? You are the chief marketing officer at Tinder, is that correct? Yes, that is correct. And what he was saying right there is immediately a falsehood, because he said sometimes there's love at first sight. Well, there can't be love at first sight if they have a plant for 2 weeks. What if they see each other within the first 20 seconds and they fall in love then? And that is kind of the model that we work on in Tinder. That's why it's swipe left, swipe right. Matter of fact, underneath the screen right there, it says love, and you just can't see it. It's subconscious. It's subliminal. If you swipe right, it means you're in love. If you swipe left, it means you want to bury somebody. Bury somebody. Is that right, Miss Hildenberg? What do you mean by that? Well, I guess the programmers, what they did is they put into the app that when they look at the picture, it's more than just looking at the physical appearance of somebody. Subconsciously, your brain sees past that picture and into the screen itself. And if
that's subliminal.
that is subliminal. Well, that's totally true, bailiff. But how is that legal? First of all, if you're saying that if you sweep left, that means you want to kill somebody, and sweep right means you love somebody, don't you think that's kind of a detriment to the users? Because then there might be, for example, some random murders, or there might be some kind of hookups that weren't based on, for example, Mr. Zuckerstone's theory of love. Well, it's because it's a stronger pull than just love. You have to see what the deep inside of that person is, and can you see hatred in their eyes?
I object. What could possibly have a stronger pull than love?
Well, for example, eyes and hair. And what about like nostril hair or ear hair? When you see that in a picture, you want to bury somebody because that's disgusting.
I've never felt that way.
No, there is so much emphasis here being placed on physical appearance that Tinder is giving just a bad name to all of our sites that are built on stronger, longer lasting connections.
Yeah, I know, Junior. What Junior wants to know is, are you working on a Cupid site for babies as well?
No. We have restricted our site to those individuals that have learned the capacity to love. Because babies, yeah. Well, I am sorry.
Well, Junior, I know you like trees and you like growing plants, but I mean, he's not directly attacking you, are you, Mr. Zuckerstone?
No, I'm just making a blanket statement about the maturity of babies.
See, and that is my point too, because people don't have to be mature to fall in love, and they don't have to be mature to hook up. So that is so stupid that OkCupid has this kind of ratio of how much love there is based on plants. I mean, come on, this is like 2015. This is not 1906 anymore.
Well, we have found it to be a very effective means of finding people who are going to get together. Because our goal is not to have people on OkCupid for the rest of their lives. We want you to come in, welcome you into the fold. We want you to feel the love and then find someone who can accept the amount of love and return the amount of love of which you are capable.
Well, Mr. Zuckerstone, then the question is, how is Tinder affecting you then personally, or how is it affecting the business? Since you don't want to have permanent repeat customers per se, how is it that Tinder is affecting, actually love generation or even dating?
Well, it's their effect on the industry. It gives us all a bad name that we're just in this for some fly-by-night operation that is based purely on hooking up. As opposed to forming a lifelong connection.
So do you have any data, empirical data, on how many people fall in love at first sight versus that you have to wait 2 weeks or a week for the plant to come back to show its love matrix?
Well, I mean, we've done regression studies on large populations. Everyone falls somewhere in a spectrum. It's very much a bell curve.
Okay. So what you're saying is a very small amount of people that actually fall in love on first sight, and therefore Tinder is capitalizing on those clientele, correct?
Yes.
And what is...
And and even then, they're not even sowing the seeds for building the foundation of a loving relationship. Yes, Miss Hildenberg, you are creating opportunities just for people to love and move on.
Well, that's kind of like your plant that you're using. You're using chia pets, and chia pets aren't permanent. They're not like a 4,000-year-old oak tree or maybe a 7,000-year-old sequoia or something. I mean, the chia pets die if you don't give them enough water.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it was the most economical solution. Do you know how expensive it is to send a 300-year-old oak tree through the mail?
Well, that's a very good point. Miss Hildenberg, what do you think about that? I mean, the chia pets have been proven to be the most accurate indicator of love. Matter of fact, chia pets were used back in ancient Mayan times to decide who they're going to decapitate and sacrifice to the gods versus who they're going to keep alive in order to continue breeding the population of the Mayan Indians themselves. Well, fine, Judge, but still, that doesn't mean that we just can't have fun and hook up. And yeah, what girl wouldn't want to get sequoia or an oak tree in the mail? That'd be so romantic.
See, Your Honor, if I may, this is the problem. It's online dating is not about having fun. It's an end goal that you are looking to put a stop to your lifelong search for love and loneliness.
So your goal is to streamline the courtship process, basically by using technology.
Yes,
right.
Yes, exactly.
Now, what if some of your clients were to hook up, for example, on the first date, or were to immediately send back the chia pet, within 2 days because they don't want to sit around and wait any longer?
Well, then those are people that we are not. Well, in the second group with the returning of the tree, those are people we are not interested in having as clients. As for that first group, we have many people on OkCupid that do fall in love at first sight because we have set them up with people who are also love at first sighters, and it's a wonderful match.
Okay. And then how much of the market share would you say you have of online dating versus the online hookup sites such as Tinder?
Oh, well, I believe we are around an 18 to 22% share, depending on the demographic. And this Tinder is just growing.
That's right, Your Honor. Our share is like 68%. We can boast that every week we have 3.6 million hookups. And of that 3.6 million hookups, we've had such wonderful feedback saying that 350,000 illegitimate children have been born. And that of those children that are born, only 15,000 of both parents are still around versus just, it's a single mother or a single father relationship usually. Isn't that great, Your Honor? That's wonderful.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, I know. I think I've heard enough here. I mean, I understand your altruistic approach to dating at OkCupid. I know it is probably the most morally sound, the most guided website out there and service in order to bring people together. And your love matrix is accurate. I looked at the data. It's been proven.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's great. And I'm where do you guys get your chia pets, by the way? I mean, how do you guys get so many supplied?
We order them in bulk from the As Seen on TV store.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Well, all right. I'm gonna have to rule, unfortunately, though.
What?
You
built me up like that just to rule against me?
Yeah.
What? That's not nice.
Well, I have to say, Mr. Zuckerstone, that love can be on first sight, and also love is something that really doesn't matter in this day and age.
What?
Hence why Junior here is with my brother. He's a single parent himself. Love did not work out for him, so it kind of proves it in its own right. And I've watched a lot of my brother's show, and I see how often he has to tend to Junior throughout. So I'm going to rule that, Mr. Zuckerstone, that your case has no validity here, and in actual fact, you're going to have to spend 6 months actively swiping left or swiping right on Tinder in order to change your programming as well. So, and then Ms. Paris Hiltonberg, I wish you the best, and if you can maybe keep down some of those illegitimate children births, that would be great, but otherwise, I guess, more juniors might be on the way.
Listen to the Win podcast from the KZKO webpage or find their show streaming on YouTube. Stay tuned for Talking Points with Shabazz Davis.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with another exciting segment for Win on KZKO The Vibe.